All right, picture this. Your car just broke down on the Monash freeway, right in the middle of peak hour traffic. Metal is crunched, your heart is totally racing, and a tow truck just pulled up behind you. Now, I'm guessing the first question racing through your mind isn't, when will help arrive, but, oh no, how much is this going to cost me? It's an incredibly stressful situation, but in this explainer, we're actually going to break down this exact scenario step by step to empower you with a complete roadside survival guide. Here's our roadmap for today. 1. The accident scene reality. 2. Victoria's strict towing laws. 3. Breaking down the costs. 4. Beware the hidden fees. 5. The 5-step insurance process. And finally, 6. Knowing your consumer rights.
Okay, part 1, Victoria's strict towing laws.
You know, if you think the accident towing industry is just some kind of free-for-all Wild West, well, you'd actually be wrong. The Victorian government dictates exactly who shows up at a crash site. They use a very strict road accident scene roster that's controlled by a dedicated allocation body. So you don't just get whoever happens to be driving past, you get the specific tow truck legally dispatched to your exact accident. See, there is a massive difference between a standard breakdown and an accident. If you just have a flat battery, you can call literally anyone you want. But an accident? Only licensed tow trucks displaying special tow or HTT, which by the way stands for heavy tow truck, number plates are legally permitted to remove vehicles from the scene. And these strict rules, they apply to the physical trucks themselves too. Licensed operators have to carry a surprisingly long list of mandatory equipment. We're talking warning lights, connected light boards, and heavy-duty fire extinguishers. But here is the real kicker. They are legally required to carry a broom, a shovel, and a rubbish bin. Why? Because the driver actually has to sweep up the glass and debris from your accident before they are allowed to leave the scene. The rules apply strictly to their behavior as well. Tow truck drivers face severe demerit points on their accreditation for soliciting business, scamming, or trying to push specific panel beaters while at the scene. This absolutely matters because it ensures they are there to tow your car safely, not to hustle you for extra cash when you're at your most vulnerable.
Which brings us to part 2, breaking down the costs.
So, a standard breakdown tow might only run you anywhere from $70 to $150, but an accident tow? Yeah, that is an entirely different financial ballgame. In the Melbourne-controlled area, the strictly regulated base rate for just the first 8 kilometres of an accident tow is exactly $417.11. And if you need to go further, you're going to pay an additional $6.57 for every single kilometre after that.
Now for part 3, beware the hidden fees. Because that $417 base rate, it's rarely your final bill. You really need to watch out for hidden fees, especially if your accident happens outside of normal business hours. Let's say you crash on a weeknight between 5 p.m. and 8 a.m., or maybe on a weekend or a public holiday. An automatic surcharge applies. That is an extra $142.35 just tacked right onto your bill before the truck has even moved an inch. And then comes storage. If your car can't go straight to a repairer, it heads to a holding yard. And man, look at how fast these daily fees accumulate. Storing a car undercover is going to cost $47.25 every single day. If you don't step in and relocate your vehicle promptly, those daily fees can rapidly eclipse the cost of the actual tow itself.
But wait, what if your car ends up in an official impound? Brace yourself. The release fee is a staggering $749.21. And that's only if you manage to get it out within 48 hours. Leave it sitting there unclaimed for 14 days, that cost rockets to over $1,460.
All right, part 4, the 5-step insurance process. At this point, you're probably wondering how anyone on Earth forwards a crash. Well, this is where you activate your safety net. Step 1, contact your insurance immediately. Usually, they'll actually arrange the whole tow for you. From there, the car goes into secured storage, which insurance generally pays for, while it awaits a damage assessment and finally repairs. Basically, your policy is there to absorb these massive fees, so always check your inclusions.
Which leads us to part 5, knowing your consumer rights.
Even with insurance on your side, you actually hold immense power at the crash site. Here are your fundamental rights. First, you and only you choose exactly where your car is towed. You also have the right to an official VicRoads pamphlet explaining the process. The operator absolutely must offer multiple payment methods, whether that's cash, card, or EFT. And interestingly enough, the tow driver actually has the right to refuse the job if you demand the car go more than 125 kilometers away. But please, heed this massive warning. always look for those TOW or HTT license plates. Using a random, unlicensed operator who happens to pull up might seem like a super fast solution in the heat of the moment, but doing so can entirely void your car insurance. Literally, you could be left legally and financially on the hook for the whole shebang. And that brings us to the single most important piece of paper you are ever going to sign that day: the authority to tow. Listen to this. Absolutely no licensed tow truck can legally move your vehicle without this document. It has to detail the exact destination, the costs, and the job number. Until your signature is on that dotted line, you hold all the power. So, the next time you hit the road, take a breath and just remember what we've covered in this explainer today. From spotting the right license plates and dodging those hidden fees to signing the authority to tow, you are now equipped with the ultimate roadside survival guide. So, are you prepared to protect your car, your rights, and your wallet? Thanks so much for joining me. Stay safe out there and never let a breakdown break the bank.